You've heard about keto, you've done your homework, and you're ready to jump right in. Check out this video for some very helpful tips.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench, and welcome. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about keto and specifically a 5-day jumpstart for those of you that are really ready to dive right in. You've read all about it, you've watched the videos, you've read the books, you've talked to people, you've done your homework, and now you're ready just to get to it and you don't want to waste any time. I have some tips that can help you really, help you nail it and hit those goals. But before I talk about those tips I have for you, I want to draw your attention to that pinned comment. This is a free cravings report. This is great. If you're experiencing cravings, those sugar peaks and crashes during the day, this is a really great resource free for you to help you figure out and how to work with your nutrition day to day to help eliminate those cravings or drastically reduce them. And especially if you're interested in doing keto, you're going to need this report as a supplemental tool. So check out that pinned comment below and you can get that free report right now. Okay, so keto, lots of good publicity and some bad. I feel like I really need to say again, although I think I say it in every video, especially where I talk about nutrition, I am not a advocate for only one specific kind of diet. I mean, diet is anything that you eat. So if you eat hamburgers and drink soda, three meals a day, 7 days a week, that's your diet. And just give it a name, the hamburger diet. So I am not somebody that says this diet is the diet. Really, the diet for you is the one that works. It's the one that allows you to feel really good. You can get through your day, you sleep well, you're able to manage your stress, you're not foggy headed. Basically, you wake up full of energy, ready for your day, you get through your day feeling really good, and you have a great sleep. It's really that simple. And for some people, that's keto. For some people, it's vegan. For some people, it's just low carb. Other people, there's so many diets out there and they all have a name and they all have a label, and you'll always find a group of people that promise you that this is the one that's going to help you lose weight, get fit, clear your skin, get dates, whatever. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to step back and go, how do I feel? Do I feel really good eating like this? Take the name out of it. Do I feel good eating like this, or do I feel like garbage? Because if you feel like garbage, it's time to switch things up. If you feel good, then great. Do more of that, okay? But when we're talking about keto, there are, if you're ready to do it and you've done your homework, you know that it is very reduced in carbs, very high in fats, moderate protein. And for a lot of people that haven't done their homework, they kind of go in unprepared, and that can make it very challenging because going strict keto is challenging. Once you get kind of past that hump, for some people it's 4 or 5 days. Other people it takes them a little bit longer. I think a lot of that has to do with your nutrition before going into this. So you have to be willing to kind of stay the course and ride through that wave of transition that your body's going through from using carbs as a fuel source to using fats, where you may not feel the best. So those initial few days or a week or so, you might not feel the best, but that's why your body's making that transition. If you stick through it and then you're able to stay on the keto diet, if you find you're feeling good, it's actually easy for you, you're enjoying the meal prep and you're enjoying the meals, and it's working for you, great. A lot of people that are doing it and able to sustain that report feeling better than ever, okay? For some people, it's just not going to work. But for those of you who are ready, motivated, you're geared up, you've done the homework, you know what you're in for, you know what the expectation is, and you're ready to do the work, I have a few tips. So my tips, this is like a jumpstart plan. I call it a jumpstart because it's basically, let me back up a little bit. When I have people reach out to me and ask me about going keto, and we have a conversation about their current way of eating, a lot of times what I recommend is sort of a gradual transition into it, as opposed to like cold turkey hardcore, let's go hard keto. That isn't optimal for a lot of people. To be honest, it's not optimal for a lot of people. They feel awful, it's difficult, they don't enjoy it. So oftentimes what I will recommend is just sort of a gradual transition, or going to more of a modified Atkins. So the carbs are low, but they're a little bit higher than strict keto. But for those very self-disciplined individuals that, it's just, within a few minutes of conversation that this is actually, they can take this on and jump right into it. There are a few things to help sort of jumpstart, because you can actually get into ketosis quite quickly. You can go into ketosis in like 2 to 4 days. It's the staying there that becomes the challenge. So what are the tips? Number one is you want to be really selective about when you start to do this. If you want to go hardcore keto right away, probably not best to do it the week before a big holiday, or you're going to be traveling, maybe you're getting married, I don't know, some big event where you have to be, alert and happy and you have to be on. Not the best time, because you want to allow yourself, you may adjust relatively quick. You might be able to, after 3-4 days, you feel okay, but you might be somebody that transitions through what's referred to as the keto flu, where you essentially feel like you have the flu. You got flu-like symptoms and you're just laying on the couch not feeling great. That could be 5 days, a week, 10 days. So you want to give yourself that time as a safety net. Because if you feel like that, you want to be able to feel like that and not have to be somewhere and be entertaining or be social or be happy. All right, so be very selective about when you want to start it. Number two, just clear out the carbs. If you're going to go hardcore, I use the term hardcore because I can't do hardcore keto. It doesn't work for me. I can do lower carb, but not hardcore, like 5%. That's just a little too low for me. But if that's your goal, if that's where your mindset is, your easiest, one of the best tips I can offer as well is to just remove all those extra carbs, the pastas, the white breads, the things that might be sitting in your kitchen right now that are going to be temptation, because once you make that switch, your body will probably start to crave carbs for a few days really strong. And you're going to want those things. So if they're not there, you won't be able to eat them and then throw yourself out of ketosis. If you really want to get into ketosis and you really want to focus on staying in ketosis and you want to abide by whatever your, when you figure out what your numbers are, you're going to abide by and follow the percentage of carbs daily. You want to make sure that you have the right kinds of carbs for the keto diet in your house, which means probably eliminating and removing a lot of the ones that shouldn't be in the house, because if they're there, you're going to probably eat them, no matter how much willpower you have. So why not just remove the temptation, remove the sabotage, so it's not there and it doesn't become an issue, okay? Third, to really, you really want to get into ketosis quick and then sustain that, you're probably looking at around 20 grams or less of net carbs daily, and you just have to do it. And I'm going to be honest, it can really suck. I found it sucked. I like carbs. And 20 grams is just not enough. Me at 20 grams is just not a very nice person. Ask anybody that knows me. Sorry. But that's just the truth. I don't operate that well. 20 grams or less of carbs. So you just, again, if this is your mindset and you're determined, you're probably looking at around 20 grams of net carbs or less a day. But I'm going to build on that in the next tip. So you want to make sure you've got the right kinds of carbs in your house to support that. So you want to choose your low carb veggies, things like cauliflower and spinach. And you want to make sure that these same low carb veggies are high in other nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and your fiber. You want to make sure you're getting your fiber in, okay? So just choose your carbs wisely and make sure they fit the diet and they support what your goal is. The next one is know your numbers. You can't just jump in, you can't just say or decide, I'm going to do keto, I'm going to go keto, and then what I have heard actually a lot of people say is, I'm just cutting out carbs. Well, you can't do that. Try. Just try. It's not going to work. I promise you it's not going to work. But if you say you're going to go keto, you need to know what your numbers are. And there are a lot of really good free keto calculators online that can help you figure that out. And I want to add to that once you do that, or you can actually reach out to like a dietitian, nutritionist, somebody that's very well versed in keto that can help you figure out your numbers. Don't be afraid to maybe play with them a little bit. Like, again, there's some excellent keto calculators online free that you put in, your height, your weight, that asks you other questions, and it comes up with a number of proteins, number of carbs, number of fats that you need to consume daily to get into and stay in ketosis. that's probably going to be pretty darn close. You may have to adjust a little bit. You may find you need an extra, 3 to 5 grams of carbs or less, or, same thing with your fats. So there may be a little bit of tweaking, but you can't just go into it blind. You need to have some parameters that you're working with, because if you're going to do keto, you need to be tracking these numbers, because if you're not tracking it, you're not going to go into and stay into keto, because how can you if you don't know where you're at? Okay, so very good tip. The next one, purchase some keto sticks. You can get them at health food stores, you can get them at grocery stores, you can get them at pharmacies, and they're just little sticks of strips that, you in the morning, you pee on them, that's all you do, and then you can, you wait about 60 seconds and the color changes, and you hold it up to the container and you can see if you're in ketosis, where you're at. So it's a good feedback tool for you. And the reason I recommend it is because in the first few days, like the first 4 to 5 days, this is really good confirmation that you're going into ketosis, and it can be really good motivation if in fact, you are feeling those keto flu symptoms and you're just like, what did I do? Why am I doing this? It's just really good feedback, positive confirmation and motivation to keep going if you still choose that you want to do that. Next, drink tons of water. And when you think you've drank a lot, drink some more. And I think I just talked about this in a recent video about drinking water, and people are probably getting tired of hearing about it, but I need to say it and you need to hear it. You really need to keep your body hydrated. Again, those first few days can be rather rough. And when you're going through, that process, so drinking lots of water, keeping very well hydrated is going to be a lifesaver in helping to, help you kind of move through those keto flu symptoms. And it's just good for you. So drink tons of water. Okay. My last tip. Okay. This is the one that I really want to hammer home, is if you are serious about doing this, you have got to chill out when it comes to fats. Because when you do go to that free online calculator and you get back those numbers and you see the grams of fat per day, you might be like, oh, I can't do that. I think that as a society, we're getting a lot better as far as our reasonable and realistic perception of fats, and that they are good for us. Good fats are good for us. Too much clearly is not good, but too much of anything isn't good for us, and too little of anything isn't good for us a lot of times. So this is more of a mindset thing. If you're doing keto, if you've really looked into it and you've talked to a lot of people and you've spent like a month or more and you're like determined to do this, you already know that this is a diet that requires you to eat higher amounts of fat than what you're probably used to. So chill out. Stop freaking out. And especially in the first few days, even the first 2 weeks, changes that are happening in your body, just chill out, okay? Let the process happen. Let it do what it's supposed to do. Your body's switching from burning carbs to burning fats. You might feel like crap, honestly. I wouldn't recommend stepping on a scale right away. Just get through that transition period. And if you come out of that keto flu or a few days of feeling not the greatest, and you start to feel really good. And this is what I do hear from people that I know of that today are, they're strict keto. This is their lifestyle, because this is not a diet, folks. This is a lifestyle. Friends of mine that I know that are keto, like strict keto, they feel amazing. They feel absolutely amazing. They can't imagine going back to eating the way they did before. It works really well for them, and they don't find it hard to be in that lifestyle. They did have to, they do say, or they have told me that it did at the beginning. They required a certain mindset to not be freaking out about the amount of fats, because it can be a little daunting, a little fear, make you fearful. What's all those fats? What's going to happen if I eat all those fats? There's all this, I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to have high cholesterol, all these things that are going to happen. But if this is a decision you've made, you're just going to have to relax. You're going to have to relax about it. And also with keto, when we talk about fats and the fats that are included in that diet, we're talking about really good, healthy fats. We're not talking about French fry fats. Well, that's also carbs too, but you know what I'm getting at. The type of fats you're eating in a keto diet are much better for you. So keep that in mind and don't freak out, because that's just going to create a lot of extra stress in your body, on your mind, and that's just going to add to the symptoms you might be experiencing in those first few days. So don't make it any harder on yourself than it needs to be. You've done the homework, you've talked to people, you've got your numbers. you don't have a big event coming up, you've got a few days to transition into this, to really give this a strong, solid run for the next several months and see how you feel being keto. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little video on the Keto Jumpstart tips that I have for you. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the subscription button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our great video content. We've got lots of things on here for everybody. And before you go, make sure you check out that pinned comment below for that free cravings report, a great tool for anybody, no matter what diet you choose to be on, to help you navigate and work through cravings and hopefully eliminate them, okay? So check that out. I'm Coach Tonya. Nice talking with you. I'll see you soon.